Hello and welcome to everyone, guys. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in. I have to say that this we have two Bellator events. I don't know whether I'm gonna cover any of them. Really much unsure, but I can promise you that I will at least try to be here for the UFC. I will at least try to be here for the UFC as. As this UFC event is pretty much. People are saying that it's very shitty UFC event, which, according to the names, yes, but according to what happens when we have low-level names, well, maybe we should at least stay positive. I'm always into the spirit of staying positive, spreading positive energy. That's just me. Have no expectations at all. I will be back very swiftly just to take a bit of water and we're getting underway. Just a second, please, guys. 1 second. Okay, guys, here I am. I took a bit of water. I don't know whether I'm gonna be live for a very long period of time, but all right, Danteshiro versus Scotty Hall. I'm also gonna go parallelly with picks. Let's see. All right, Danteshiro versus Scotty Hall. Let me see. Danteshiro minus 600. Scotty Hall plus 425. Scotty Hall 530. 5'11". Out of Kiowa Kona Hawaii. Lost to Keone Diggs, lost to Ryan Walker, Jake Smith. Victory over Timothy Thieves. Not much of a famous fighter. Danteshiro, everybody knows Danteshiro. 830, 6 foot 173 inches of reach. Gonna have reach advantage probably, and he fought very much high level names. I mean, lost split decision, lost to Logan Storley, losses to Aguilantani, Jesse Halim, but victories over Kenny Robertson, Victor Moreno. This guy is serious. I think Danteshiro easy win, I think. Danteshiro to win for minus 600. Pretty much confident in Danteshiro to win this one. Yeah, pretty much confident in Danteshiro to win this one. Now the next pick here is going to be for the clash between Makoa Cooper and Blake Perry. I don't have data about these two guys. I mean, one of them is even making his professional debut. Makoa Cooper 1-0, one win over Ratavius Thrasher via big right hand early knockout. He didn't have the real opponent, Blake Perry, amateur record 5-3-0, but 6'3", very tall fighter out of Hawaii. I see that he had some knockouts, he had some victories, but for this fight, I really have insufficient data. So Makoa Cooper is a big favorite. They say that guy is a high-level prospect. I would gladly fade that fight, but okay. Cooper for... I'm unsure. I'm a bit unsure. I would gladly fade that fight as I don't have, as I have kind of insufficient data, if you know what I mean. I don't have enough data on the fighters, and that kind of gives me a hard time, as I have to think more than normal. And if you're gonna listen to me, I just said who I would pick, but you can feel free to ignore this. I mean, I just have to give you a pick. I just have to give you a side pick, so please feel free to ignore this. I'm not gonna get angry if you ignore this. Then we are going with Weber Almeida versus Fabricio Franco. Now this is tough fight to pick. Both fighters are high-level athletes. Weber, the silverback, Almeida, 5'5", 110, 5'7", 70 inches of reach. Extreme fighter out of Mato Grosso, lost to Johnny Soto, but victories over Castle Williams, Salim Mukidinov, Odan Chinchilla. I'm gonna tell you one thing. This guy knows to strike and he is brutally good counterpuncher. Fabricio Franco, 8'4", 5'9", out of MMA Masters, Miami, Florida. Lost to Miguel Villegas at Combate Global. This guy is also a striker, but he is more of a brawler. So this is the clash of two strikers. Like, two guys very much dominant on their feet. But I think Weber Almeida should be a favorite because of his excellent counter skills. And I'm gonna check it right now. I'm checking who's the favorite. Hold on. Weber Almeida minus 365. Fight doesn't go the distance. Let me see. Almeida versus Franco, no distance. He is minus 180. I like that pick. And I also like Almeida to win for minus 365. I also like that pick. So that's how I'm thinking about this upcoming matchup. That's how I'm thinking of it. I do have a feeling this could be a good idea. Then the next fight, Eric Perez versus CJ Hamilton. Eric Gojito Perez, 28-0, man, 5'8", 68 inches of reach, out of Albuquerque. I remember that guy since his early days in the UFC days. Used to be a real legend, man. Victories over Ken Stone, Edwin Figueroa, Byron Bloodworth, losses to Takemi Mizugaki, Brian Caraway, victory over Taylor Lepilus, Francesco Rivera Jr., Felipe Arantes. Even in Bellator he had a great career. Blaine Shutt win. Also losses to Toby Mizrach and Josh Hill. He is a real vet of this sport, man. 32 years of age and such a vet. Gonna meet CJ Hamilton. He out about 5'15", 9, 5'6", 72 inches of reach. Not much of a reach advantage on these ends. The guy lost to Magomed Magomedov and Matos, two back-to-back losses. At LFA, lost to Jimmy Flick via arm triangle choke, which also lost to Jordan Espinoza, Casey Kenny, which makes me believe that Eric Perez has more weapons to offer. And Eric Perez is a more well-rounded fighter than CJ Hamilton. But with Hamilton, you never know because of his excellent cardio. So let me see the odds here. CJ Hamilton plus 240, Eric Perez minus 305. That's okay odd, pretty much okay odd. I do agree with these odds, and I have. Hey, how are you, Dennis? Big ratings. I have Eric Perez to win for minus 305. I'm doing great. How are you doing, Dennis? Yeah, I'm having Eric Perez to win. Minus 305. Also, Perez versus Hamilton over 2.5. I like that. Let me see the odds for that. Over 2.5 minus 105. I do like that. I really do like that odd. So the next one is going to be Zane versus Trophic Musev. I think this one is a total mismatch. I really think this one is a total mismatch. Zane, Trophic Musev, two uncomparable guys. Trophic Musev competed at Rising FC. And at Rising FC, this Azerbaijani guy was so dominant, 5'10". Man, his wrestling is on a whole other level. He lost to Roberto de Souza, but destroyed Patrick Pitbull, Johnny Case, Damian Brown, Darren Cruikshank, Novomitsu Otsava. So great fighter. On the other side, Zach God's Warrior Zane, 15-3-0, 5'10", 69 inches of reach, fighting out of Luku Hulahi, Black House MMA fighter. But losses to Laikrac Habov, Guilherme Faria, also Max Roscoe, Justin Gonzalez. He also fought at Bare Knuckle, where he also lost. Last real win happened against Nainoa Dung versus unanimous decision, but Nainoa Dung and Tofik Musev are two totally different types of the opponents. I'm going to go with Tofik Musev. Tofik Musev rarely finishes, so there is a chance Tofik Musev will maul this opponent for 3 rounds, there is a solid chance. But if there is one thing that worries me here, it's the fact that Trophic Musev is maybe a bit overrated. Maybe minus 700 should be okay out, but I'm going with Trophic Musev to win for minus 140. Don't know what that means for the 300 odd fighters they are managed. Did you hear that MTK are shutting down end of this month? Yes, I've heard that. I don't know whether this is good or bad news. I mean, I've never been a fan of MTK. What do you think about that, Dennis? I've honestly never been a fan of MTK. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that topic? I think this weekend boxing has good chances to beat MMA because there are so many high-level fights coming up, and I do think we are going to see some very, very much high-level bouts coming up. So I see it as a win for boxing. We do have Bellator, we do have MMA, but it's on a whole different level. So this weekend boxing scores the win. Manny Muro gonna fight Nate Andrews. Yesterday I had a question about Nate the Snake Andrews, whether a 16-4-0 fighter, 5'11", 76 inches of reach out of Rhode Island, 3 back-to-back losses. I mean 3 out of 4 in his last 4 outings, victory over Rashid Magomedov, but Chris Wade on 2 occasions lost to Sadavad. He was so dominant at CS, he used to be the champ, he used to be destroying guys, and Nate Andrews defeated Manny Muro once in the past, but he also defeated Julian Lane. But right now, Manny Muro evolved a lot in his fighting style. Manny the Dragon Muro, 5'10", 72 inches of reach. The guy evolved a lot. American Elite MMA, lost to Usman Nurmagomedov, which is not a shame, but outworked Nick Newell, Devin Powell. It tells me that the guy has progressed, and Nate Andrews has already won. But when you're fishing for the revenge might be sweet, you know. Let's be honest, revenge might be very, very sweet. If I would fish for revenge, I would really, really try to make it as painful as possible. And the fact that Nate Andrews already won Manny Muro will probably say to people that they should pick Nate Andrews, but not for me. I'm gonna go with Muro for the victory. I'm going for the underdog, Muro to win for plus 260. So I think he has what it takes to avenge the loss. I think it's good news. They had a lot of influence in boxing, but they have another promotional company called Probellum, but only a matter of time till that closes too. Yeah, I've heard of Probellum, but I don't have much info on it. I knew about MTK, so I knew about MTK, but thanks for sharing. Anyway, maybe this is an okay news. I mean, for me at least, this should be an okay news. Christian Edwards gonna meet Grant Neal. Yeah, Christian Edwards meeting Grant Neal. I'm really much looking forward to this fight. Christian Payne Edwards, 5'10", 6'5", 78.5 inches of reach, light heavyweight fighter. Very talented. Lost to Ben Parrish in a violent fashion. Prior to that, destroyed Simon Bion, Hamza Salim, Marco Hatch, Cesar Bennett, Justine Vargas. Used to be a kid of Bellator, man. Now Grant the Truth Neal, 5'11", 74 inches of reach. Genesis Training Academy fighter and a top-notch wrestler who lost to Alex Polizzi, might actually be a very, very hard opponent for Edwards, especially because of his choking skills, back control. He was better than Jimmy Lugo, Claude Wilcox, Hamza Salim, Terrell Fortune, Maurice Jackson. I just think his wrestling gonna be too much. I just think Grant Neal is too much of a wrestler. Unless Edwards knocks him out cold early on, I think this is gonna be, can't call it a slam dunk, but I would give greater chances to Grant Neal for the victory. Fight goes to decision. Honestly, got no idea. Honestly, no idea. No idea. I was very much surprised with Edwards' previous outing, and he is having a hard time with wrestlers, so going with Grant Neal for the victory. Oh, hello, Boxing Waffle. Grant Neal to win for -160. Grant Neal. Then the next one is going to be Cornell Ugo versus Denis Sabatello. Oh, they switched the main event. Cornell Ugo against Denis Sabatello. Cornell A1, Ugo 800. 5'9", 72.5 inches of reach. BJJ fighter. He was better than Brian Moore, Kate Lee, Casbell, Shiver Soto, and John Dumas 5'0" in Bellator at CES used to be very, very dominant. But against Denis Sabatello, Italian gangster, 5'10", 69.5 inches, I don't think he's going to have much of the advantage, especially considering the fact that Denis Sabatello defeated Brad Jones, Damon Blackshear, Taylor Moore. These were very, very great victories. Only one lost to Irvin Rivera. Irvin Rivera, former UFC name prior to his arrest. So I just think Sabatello is on a whole new level. I think Sabatello should be a favorite as expected. Sabatello is -290. How are you, man? How are you doing, Niall? How's everything doing? -290. PFL tonight. Yeah, PFL taking place tonight. Any underdogs for tonight? For PFL, I will respond to that question. Just to finish this breakdown, I will respond to that question, no problem. -290 Sabatello to win. You can, Niall, you can rewatch. I mentioned round robin at the end, but I will reply to your question anyway. But just to finish this, but anyway, I mentioned round robin at the end. You have my PFL stream. I never logged the chat, so you can scroll to the end. I think I mentioned round robin like 5-7 minutes prior to the end. There is a 4 parlay round robin. I think I have 4 underdogs for this chat. I know I picked against Jeremy Stevens, and I know I picked Raush Manfio. That's what I know, but there are 2 more, I think. There are 2 more, and yeah, good PFL, very good PFL tonight. Just rescroll the chat, I never lock it. Hey, champ, how are you? We missed you in the chat, man. How are you doing? A parlay, go for it, man. Let me see. Enrique Barzola versus Nikita Mikhailov. Barzola is a former UFC name, while Nikita Mikhailov, as well as you know, out of Stary School, Fedor student, 5'8", 70 inches of reach, victories over Brian Moore, Blaine Shot, Muhammad Aminov, Sabit Supov. This guy comes from very, very strong Sambo wrestling background. Enrique Fuerte Barzola, 17, 5'2", 5'7", 70 inches of reach, aka fighter. He used to fight at UFC, where he fought to draw against Rani Yaya, lost to Aguilar and Devlev, and outworked Bobby Moffett, Brendan Davis, Matt Bassett, Gabriel Benitez, Chris Sevilla, Horacio Gutierrez. I mean, he had a great, great career in the UFC. One lost to Kyle Bochniak too, but his career is rising up right now after that ground and pound victory over Darion Caldwell. You know that Kyoji Horiguchi was having a hard time defeating Darion Caldwell, so I think Barzola should be at least a favorite in this fight. Now I'm gonna see. Yes, Barzola is a favorite. I mean, this fight could go all the way, so Barzola Mikhailov goes the distance. Barzola versus Mikhailov goes the distance. Jake calling out Bisping. Why don't he fight Sylvia? I think Jake just wants public attention. I think that fight will never happen. Simon Powell, Clay Collard, and Martin Hamlet. I agree with all the picks. Great picks, champ. Gelton Almeida is fighting at heavyweight because Grisham pulled out. Really? He's transitioned to heavyweight? That's going to be interesting to see. I will do that prediction tomorrow, as today I don't have time, but thank you so much. Barzola Mikhailov to go the distance. Go the distance, -3 to all. Barzola to win. I think Barzola should be favorite. Let me check. I think Barzola wins -160. What do you think? Is this a good trip to heavyweight or not? What do you think? Jamie? Is this a good trip to heavyweight or not? Because Raul Almeida is super strong for 205. I mean, we know that very well that he is extremely strong for 205. I'm just unsure whether this trip is a good idea. I hope it is, though, but I'm just saying that I'm kind of unsure. Now, Juliana Velasquez versus Liz Carmoche. Juliana Velasquez 12-0 undefeated. You know that she comes out of judo, but she has all the skills. Very much well-rounded fighter, 5'6", 67.5 inches of reach. Outfrug, Brunel, and Ilima McFarland, Dennis Kielholtz. She rarely goes for the finish, and you know that very well. But she has good kickboxing skills. Outfrug, Alejandra Lara, stopped Christina Williams, Rebecca Ruth, Nal Young. I mean, she knows to strike, but she is more of a grappler. And Liz Carmoche, 16-7-0, 38 years of age, 5'6", 66 inches of reach. She is still extremely strong, especially after that fight against Lucia Pudilova. I've seen the power of her brutality and how strong she can be. I was so furious when she destroyed Keina Watanabe. She was better than Diana Bennett, Vanessa Porta. 3-fight win streak, only losses to Alexis Davis and Valentina Shevchenko. Shevchenko was unable to finish her. Miesha Tate, Alexis Davis were unable to. Only Ronda Rousey finished her with that armbar and Maros Conan via triangle choke. But Juliana Velasquez doesn't have those arsenal of submissions to finish her. I think actually Juliana Velasquez defeated Talita Bernardo too. I mean, she has decent arm bars, which is not going to be enough for Liz Carmoche because now she defends arm bar like a natural. I think Liz Carmoche would have good chances to win. Liz Carmoche is the underdog. Fight goes to decision. Velasquez versus Carmouche goes the distance. How much is to go the distance? Velasquez Carmouche going the distance -215. -215. Liz Carmouche to win +135. So this is officially all my picks. And now we can chit chat. Let me see. Clay Collard's boxing is so good. Yes, it is. It is amazing. He's only doing this fight and he's returning to light heavyweight. Yes, I know, but let's see how he's gonna run at heavyweight. Dean Barry by decision by the house on it. Good luck with that. Just 1 second, please. Okay, I'm gonna save now the description so my fans can recently rewatch.